because they think that the IRS is a model of inefficiency and shouldn't be rewarded with more money. Well, could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality
could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
And it relates very closely to what Senator
Could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
That you've seen an inefficient
Could that have been a motivation?
If you allow the witness to answer, you might get your answer, Senator Kennedy.
It frankly couldn't have been.
It could or couldn't?
It could not have been.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Because the reason why you've seen
you just
the IRS
made this statement
that
every Republican.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Capitol Insights. Today we're diving into an absolutely wild Senate hearing that you need to see. We've got Senator John Kennedy taking on a Yale law professor over a controversial tweet about IRS funding and Israel. Trust me, this gets spicy real quick. Let's break it down.
You said
allow taxpayers to be able to cheat on their taxes.
You said that every single House Republican, none of whom you talked to, would only support Israel if it was made easier for Americans to cheat on their taxes. Now, you said that, and you didn't talk to any of them.
Senator Kennedy, I am struck by, and perhaps this is something on which we agree, that it is incredibly important to support Israel. It is also incredibly important to make sure that taxpayers at the top of the distribution
we agree on Israel, but
share.
I just can't believe you would say this about members of Congress. It's pretty pejorative, vicious. Let me finish. Without talking to them. I mean, would it be possible for somebody to support a reduction to the IRS budget because they simply believe the federal government ought to have a balanced budget? Would that be a fair position? Would that be a principled position?
Except that actually doesn't work with respect to defunding the IRS.
Would it be a principled position?
It wouldn't be an accurate position because defunding
But you don't know because
IRS,
you didn't talk to anybody, did you?
Well,
you just said it.
Defunding the IRS, the CBO agrees, everyone who's testifying today agrees that that is going to add to deficits, not reduce them.
Could it be that a House Republican wanted to reduce the IRS's budget because they think that the IRS is a model of inefficiency and shouldn't be rewarded with more money? Well, could that have been a possibility, a motivation for the way they voted?
Kennedy, I so appreciate that question because the reality
could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
And it relates very closely to what Senator
could that have been a motivation for the way they voted?
That you've seen an inefficient
could that have been a motivation?
If you allow the witness to answer, you might get your answer, Senator Kennedy.
It frankly couldn't have been.
It could or couldn't?
It could not have been.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Because the reason why you've seen
you just
the IRS
made this statement that every Republican in the House supports Israel only if it has been made easier for people to cheat on their taxes. Could it be that maybe a House member thought that, well, the more money we spend, the more deficits we have, and the more deficits we have, the more pressure is put on interest rates, and the higher interest rates go, the more it hurts the poor. Could that have been the position of one of the House Republicans?
Senator Kennedy,
could it have been theoretically?
Couldn't have been, because everyone
it couldn't have been?
It frankly couldn't.
How do you know you didn't talk to him?
Well, I know that everyone agrees, including witnesses across the aisle, including CBO, including every single tax expert that has contemplated this question, that defunding the IRS makes deficits worse, not better. And so this is a deficit
I just find it,
measure.
Professor, appalling that you would make a statement like this, a vicious statement like this, without talking to a single person about whom you made this statement. And I'm going to remind you, you can only be young once, but you can always be immature. And you ought to think about that.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you.
Let me just say that I think that the treatment of witnesses is beginning to degrade a bit here. And I'm going to strike some commentary if it continues down this road. I think personal insults to witnesses are not appropriate, and I will not be tolerant of that in this committee.
Well, could I respond, Mr. Chairman? You're going to
Fire away. I think you just called a
You're going
Yale
to do
Law
what
School
you got to
professor
do, but
immature.
I'm going to continue to use my time. You bring witnesses as you're entitled to, and some of them are very good. Some of them have the credibility of Michael Avenatti, and I'm going to use my time when I think it's appropriate to
And I'm
test.
going to use,
if
and
I
I'm
could
going to
just
use
finish
my
my
authority
thought,
as
Shel,
chairman
to test
as I think
credibility,
it is appropriate
witnesses'
as well,
credibility.
in
So
order
you
to
do
keep
what you
order
got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do.
good behavior in
But
a
if that
Senate
is meant
committee.
to bully me, you're talking
No
to the
attempt to
wrong
bully
guy.
you. No attempt to bully you, none at all. It's to keep the witness and the committee free of bullying.
I'm entitled to test their credibility, and I think one of our witnesses just got tested.
I hope I passed, Senator. Thank you.
You didn't.
And there you have it, folks. A perfect example of how congressional hearings can go from 0 to 100 real quick. The whole thing raises some serious questions about social media, political discourse, and how we debate important issues like IRS funding. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Capitol Insights, and hit the notification bell to catch more political drama analysis. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Was Kennedy too harsh, or did the professor have it coming? See you in the next one. End screen. Subscribe for more political breakdowns.